Hi y'all, we'll start in some time. There's a bunch of folks we're waiting on. And while you're getting comfortable, we'll have all of the props today. So 2 blocks, there's some therapy balls and a strap in the white basket. And then we'll use a bolster today and a blanket if you'd like to pad your knees down on the ground. Bolster also.
Bolster?
I know, the whole shebang. Every prop that you can see, you can grab. Oh my goodness. Hi, how are you?
I usually come on Tuesdays.
I know,
So empty.
in the day. Yeah. Well, it usually depends. Some days it's quite full, but I keep forgetting that it's a holiday today. So sometimes it's slammed, and sometimes people are like, Monday, I'd like to lie down at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna make myself.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see you in the daylight.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll also have a bolster today. So while you're grabbing all the things, bolster, therapy balls, a strap, and a few other things. Blocks, a blanket if you'd like.
Did you enter the flower show this year?
I did. Melanie coming in today, and I was wondering if she got all of her paperwork for it yet. They send you, well, I sent all of the stuff in January, and then they send you your like protocol of what to do. Like you can come in at this time, and so that hasn't come yet. So we'll see. Either way, I'm definitely going to go.
So how does that work? You take your submission in, and they review, and they let you know?
Well, you start off sending it online, and you have to put it in a category of like, it's this kind of plant,
Right.
it's this genus and species if you know it. And then afterwards, once it gets submitted, you bring your plant to the convention center, and then they have like inspectors, like people who look to see if it's in the right pot, or it sounds like they just want to make sure there's no bugs on it, so
But
that
they have
there's,
their criteria, whatever that is, and if you pass muster.
then you're allowed to be accepted in.
I see.
Yeah, hi,
That's
welcome
cool.
back.
What category are you?
I did two. One of them is looking grim. So I have the one I submitted last year as a begonia.
Okay.
And this year I have a huge witch hazel tree in front of my house in West Philly. And when I was looking at the plants last year, you could submit a clipping of it. So I did that. Yeah,
Interesting.
I know.
Good for you.
Do you get to go? Have you been to the
I
show?
go to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I garden, but I don't do that.
It's much more accessible than than I thought it would be to submit and enter. I remember going a couple years ago and seeing that horticourt, the plant section, and being like, I could never do this.
Yeah, a little
And
intimidating.
it's a little intimidating. And then I went and I said, I think I have a plant that looks like it might be good.
Like it might hold its own.
Yeah, and it did. It got a little ribbon last year.
Oh, that's really
Yeah,
cool.
but
I didn't remember that.
I think it got a little traumatized leaving the house in the cold and then coming back in, and it hasn't quite recovered. But we'll see. I'm still going to bring it in. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
In retrospect.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
cool.
you. Hi. Yes, we'll grab all of the things this afternoon. So you'll have a bolster, a blanket, and then over here in this corner, there's 2 blocks, and in the white baskets, there's a strap and therapy balls. But take your time. Multiple rounds, there's no rush. We still got some time before we start.
Thank you. So I weirdly won tickets to the flower.
Yay!
I've never been before.
It's so fun.
I have to pick what day we're gonna go.
If you can go on a weekday, weekday evenings or like during the day, the weekends they're fun. They're just slammed in a fun, if you're into crowds and things like that. But I've only been twice, like since I've been in Philly for so many years. But they have, this year is the theme is like the 250th anniversary of America. And they always have a little miniature section that, I don't know how to describe it other than it's little picture windows that people, like a diorama that people make out of plants. And last year it was famous movies. And so people made small miniature dioramas out of all plant material. And if you can go on a weekday, you get to actually see them. Do you know what I mean? Because you have to like wait in line and like press your nose up against the glass. But regardless of when you go, it's so fun. And the shopping is, if you're a plant person, the shopping is really fun. Yeah. Well, we'll see if I get accepted. I was going to ask you, this is the one. Did you get your paperwork for the flower show stuff yet?
I just got it.
You just did. Okay.
Just. I want to say in Saturday's mail.
Okay.
So yours is probably coming.
I hope
There's no
so.
mail today, so probably
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Okay. Okay. I was like, this is coming soon. And I
It
had,
always comes like
okay.
super- yeah. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Plus, you always have your friend you can.
That's true. I'll be like, Rob. Hi, all. Good to see you. Hi, Lisa. Good, thank you. We'll use, in addition to all the stuff that we normally grab, the bolster, well, spoiler alert, we'll also have a bolster, bolster, blanket, blocks, strap, and therapy balls. And we'll see. I think almost everyone's here. Okay. Yes. Okay. All right, y'all. How you doing, Molly? It's nice to see you. How was the event on Thursday? Good. Nice. More to come, yes. Okay, good. Hello, welcome. Come on in, y'all. We'll get started while you're getting settled. We'll use all the props and then a bolster today, too. And happy Monday. I was saying as I was driving here, because I always teach on Mondays when there's federal holidays, I never know what's happening, but as I was coming from West Philly, there was maybe one other car on Washington Avenue, and I said, something is afoot, and I don't know what it is, but I'm happy we made it all here together. A few new faces to me, so if I didn't get to say hi officially, my name is Anisha, and I'm very happy to be teaching. There's the clipboard just got updated with all of the workshops and things coming up in the spring, so I'll share those after we start practicing and moving, but there's a whole lineup of very sweet activities and events if you have time outside of the public class schedule. And today is week 3 out of 4. February is just flying by, of working towards the same series of poses and different variations of the poses. So for all of February, we've been working on deep hip openers and arm balances because both go very sweetly hand in hand together. So for the past couple of weeks, we've practiced Twisted Crow. Last week, we moved towards a version of Vashisthasana or side plank. And today, we'll use the bolster to see what leverage we can start to get. And as a reminder, or maybe something new, is that heart opener or arm balances are our body's way of being able to stand in and on and from the heart, because the bones and the muscles of your arms are connected to those of your rib cage, of your sternum. And in our yoga practice, it's thought that your rib cage is a protector of your heart. It holds and encompasses the heart space itself. And when I talk about the heart, yes, of course, I'm talking about the physical heart, the one that's to the left of center, but it's also that very spiritual heart that lives not just in the front part of your being, not just in the back, but deep in the center of who you are. So when you stand on your hands or balance on the arms, it's your way that your heart begins to express itself in the world around you. So today we'll see where it takes us as we move towards some arm balances. Take breaks, sip water, modify at any point, and give yourself time to pace yourself. Because we got not just today's practice, not just next week, but a whole lifetime to be able to share this with each other. So we'll begin in a comfortable seat, however that looks for you. You are more than welcome to start fully lying down on the ground. You might be seated with your legs crossed or seated on your knees. If you are in a seat, you might notice what it feels like to sit on any gentle propping onto your bolster or your blanket or even your block, so that your hip bones naturally fall a little higher than your knees, to allow for your low back to lift and lengthen and stack the deck in your own favor. And as your hands fall anywhere they fall, into your lap or onto the tops of your thighs, let your eyes close or soften to a point as you begin to listen for your own breath. When you close your eyes, it's a moment to see yourself more clearly than before. to temporarily tune out that external stimuli and to draw your attention to that interior world. So as you take these first few moments to notice your breath without the need to shift or change or alter, can you see where your breath prefers to be this afternoon? For some of us, it stays higher up in the chest and more in the front of your body. And as you notice your breath, can you see how your breath notices you right back? Your next breath might move from your nose down into your belly and up into your heart. And as you exhale, offer the breath up and out through the very crown of your head, so your head sits above your heart, and your heart might rest above your hips. Continue with a few more of those breaths, just on your own, as each breath moves in, down, and wide. And every exhale offers itself up and out through every direction of you. We'll start our practice and our time together with 3 more rounds of that same breath. So as you draw your hands to center, you might bring one palm on top of the other in front of your chest or on your heart. Or you might bring your hands together in front of your heart in Anjali Mudra, a moment of self-reverence where your heart can come out in front of you as a guide. But as you wait for your next inhale, let it fill you up completely. And exhale to offer that breath out. 2 more times on your own. At the bottom of your breath, pause for a moment. Take notice of any difference that comes when you listen for and truly remember your breath. And as you keep a thread of that connection inward, gently let your hands release, blink your eyes open, and come forward to tabletop this afternoon to link your breath and movement together. You might have your blocks framing out either corner of your mat. Perhaps you use them as we start to move around. But in today's tabletop, see if your hands can come as wide as your mat. Spread your fingers. With your knees underneath your hips, begin to curl all 10 of your toes under to feel the arches of your feet. Now with your eyes softly open or closed, begin to round and arch your spine through a few rounds of cat and cow, really feeling your breath and body harmonize together. Let's go for 5 cycles of breath at your pace. You might stay in the more rounded or arched shape for a few extra rounds. You might draw your right hip to your right shoulder and breathe into the left side of your waist and vice versa. But as you move with your breath, can you notice how it feels and where you begin to feel it? When you find your next exhale, come back to table, find your neutral spine. And this time, as you keep your hips, knees, and feet where they are, begin to walk your hands a few handprints forward of your shoulders. Let them stay as wide as your mat. Now, as you breathe in, shrug your shoulders to the ears, get long from your hips up to your armpits. And as you exhale, press through your palms to stretch your hips back and let your head get heavy to a block or to the floor for puppy pose, Anahastasana. Think of this less like child's pose. So if your butt is on your heels, come out halfway and walk your hands slightly further forward and wider than they are, so your thighs can come vertical, hips over your knees. And as you bow your chest, your heart towards the earth, do your best to breathe. Do let your head rest on something solid, a block or the ground. As you take a full breath in through the nose and a deeper breath out through your nose or mouth, feel the shoulder blades soften to let your chest get heavier towards the earth. On your next inhale, press down into your palms, rise back up to tabletop. As your hands stay as wide as your mat, walk your knees back a few inches behind your hips, curl your toes under, and take it up and back to downward facing dog. All of the breaths and all of the time you need to find your way there. In your down dog, take a peek at your hands and see if anything shifted from when they came from table. Can you let your index fingers point straight ahead like number 11s? Press your fingertips down into the earth and lift your butt up and back towards the wall behind you as you take a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. At the bottom of your exhale, lift your heels, soften your knees, peek forward, and 1 foot at a time, begin to walk your feet up towards your palms to come into your forward fold. The blocks might be there, so your hands can come high onto blocks out in front of your feet. You might widen your feet an inch or two or soften your knees, almost a love letter to yourself, giving yourself the space that you need to bow in towards yourself. Take a full breath in through the nose. Stay for your exhale as you bow towards your own heart, your own self. Now, after a few breaths, climb your hands up onto your hips, stand through your legs, and a big inhale brings you up to rise as your hands come down by your sides. Let your feet be under your hips with your toes pointing straight ahead. Take a big breath in, reach your arms forward and up. And as you exhale, soften your knees, hinge at your hips to fold. As you inhale, come up halfway, hands to your blocks or shins as you reach the bottom of your heart forward. And on your exhale, fold, plant your palms onto your sticky mat and step it back to plank pose, the top of your push-up. Maybe your knees are lowered behind your hips, maybe they're lifted, but do let your hands come as wide as your mat, take up some room. And now press through your palms and feel your shoulder blades broaden on your upper back. Slide your ears back to come in line with your chest as you take a full breath in. And on your exhale, begin to bend your elbows to lower all the way down to your belly. Let your hands stay as wide as your mat. Inhale to rise for cobra or baby cobra as you lift your heart up. And on your exhale, take it up and back to down dog, puppy pose, or tabletop for 3 slow, steady breaths. The breath moves first in the direction of your heart, the very center of your being. Your heart awakens and illuminates your mind, and your mind inspires the full brilliance of your body. So as you pause here in down dog, puppy, or table, as you inhale without moving your hands, can you hug your hands towards each other from right to left? Feel the energy run up the floor into the shoulder blades. And now from the back of your heart, press your palms down and forward to lift your butt up and back towards the back of the room as you take 1 more breath in and a deeper breath out. At the bottom of your exhale, take your time, lift your heels, soften your knees, peek forward, and come forward, feet to your hands into your standing forward fold. Inhale brings you halfway up to lengthen, reach the bottom of your heart forward, and on your exhale, fold, bowing in toward yourself. Bring your feet 2 fists width apart, relatively hip distance, and as your toes point straight ahead, bend your knees, sit your hips back, slide your palms up to your thighs for this first round of chair pose. Now, as your butt gets heavy to the back of your mat, guide your knees open towards those second and third toes. Now press into your legs to lift your chest away from the earth. Stay right here for more support in the low back. Or to add some heat in the upper body, reach your arms to the sky. But remember the breath, a full breath in and down. Stay for your exhale, think butt heavy to the back of the room as you lift your heart and your gaze away from the floor. On your next inhale, come all the way up to rise, reach up to touch the sky. And as you exhale, fold, bowing in towards yourself. Keep your right foot forward, step your left foot all the way back to catch your lunge. Come high up onto your blocks or fingertips on either side of your right foot. Now wiggle your left toes back just another inch so you get longer in your stance. And this time, begin to walk your hands to the inside of your right leg, to the top left corner of your mat, a lizard lunge variation. So as your hands, with or without the blocks, walk forward and wider than your shoulders, press through your palms to lift your butt up and back towards the long edge of your mat. Keep lifting that left knee and thigh high away from the floor. And as you remember the breath, a full breath in and down. Stay for the exhale, lift your butt high as you bend into your right knee and thigh. Let it get heavier to the earth. Nice, y'all. On an inhale, walk your hands back to frame out your right foot, look forward, and all the hops you need to bring your left foot to meet your right, back into your forward fold. Inhale to lengthen halfway, grow long through the heart. And as you exhale, fold, bowing in. With those feet 2 fists width apart, one more time. Utkatasana, chair pose, bend your knees, sit your butt back, hands to your thighs, your hips are up overhead as you remember the breath. Here, as your butt gets heavy to the back of your mat, can you feel those bottom ribs slide towards each other and let the middle of your back widen? Now slide your ears back to lift your chin. And if your arms are overhead, bring them back 1 more inch in line with your ears. A big breath in. Stay for the exhale. Maybe sit an inch lower to the earth. And on an inhale, come all the way up to rise. Reach up to touch the sky. And exhale to fold, bowing in. Keep your left foot forward. Step your right foot all the way back to lunge. And as you come up onto your blocks or fingertips, wiggle the right toes back an inch more to the back of your mat. Begin to walk your hands to the inside of your left foot, to the right corner of your mat. You might come onto the floorboards. But as your hands come forward of your shoulders and wider than your shoulders, use your hands here. Press them away from you to lift your butt up and back towards the long edge of your mat. As you take a long breath in, stay for the exhale. Lift your right heel, knee, and thigh high. As you bend into your left leg, let it get heavier to the floor. On your next inhale, walk your hands back to frame out your left foot. Plant your palms onto your sticky mat and step it back to downward facing dog. Pedal your heels from one side to the other. Notice what you feel. And on your next inhale, come forward to plank pose. Wait for your exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Take a full breath in to rise, cobra. Drink in your inhale. And on your exhale, take it up and back to downward facing dog. A full breath in through the nose and a deeper breath out through your nose or mouth. From your down dog, lift your right leg up and back. Step your right foot through or around to catch your lunge. As you pivot your left heel to the floor, on your inhale, come up to rise for warrior 2, facing the long edge of your mat. Let your right knee and toes point straight ahead. And as you try to look away from the ground, stretch out through the fingertips, especially that back left hand. Reach it back to the wall behind you. Take a full breath in. Stay for the exhale as you bend 1 more inch into your front thigh. Now on your breath, reach your arms up to the ceiling. Bend your right elbow, pat yourself on the back, and let your left fingertips grab onto your elbow. Take elbow to the ceiling. Gently press your head back to lift your chin. Let there be space for breath to come through. And can you slide the bottom ribs back to steady the middle of your back? A full breath in and down. Stay for your exhale, bend into your right thigh as you lift your right elbow 1 more inch to the ceiling. On your inhale, release your arms to a T. Press the right leg straight. Take a full breath to get long through the fingertips. And for Trikonasana, let your right hand come onto a block or the floor, and let's all come to the inside of your right leg for today. So once your right hand comes to the inside of the right foot, on a block or the ground, feel your legs against the earth. And with the right leg straight, but not locked, hug your feet in towards each other. Now press straight down into your right hand, reach up through the left fingertips like you could touch the skylights above you, and begin to slide the shoulders back and the ears back to lean back against yourself. A long breath in. Stay for your exhale, a side stretch. Begin to sweep your left arm overhead towards the front of the room, as if your left fingertips could touch the floorboards in front of your mat. Press down through the left pinky toes. Reach out through the left hip, the shoulder, the waist as you lean back against yourself. Good. On an inhale, unwind. Lower your hands to the earth. Step it back to downward facing dog. And now from your down dog, inhale to lift that same right leg up and back. The one that's just ahead in your warrior two. As you exhale, draw your right knee to your nose for core plank, shoulders over the wrists. You can always tap your right toes to the floor, but press through your palms, lift your belly high, and now scoop your right knee 1 centimeter further forward. Inhale to lift the right leg up and back. Breathe in. And last one, as you exhale, draw your right knee to your right armpit. That left thigh wants to drop. Lift your left thigh away from the ground, lift your belly, and then scoop the right leg 1 more inch further forward. Inhale to extend your right leg up and back. And as you exhale, lower the right foot to the floor, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in through the nose and a deeper breath out through your nose or mouth. For the other side, lift your left leg to the sky. Step your left foot through or around to catch the lunge. Pivot your back heel all the way to the floor. And on your breath in, rise Virabhadrasana 2 on the second side. Sometimes the left knee wants to knock in. Can you gently guide it open towards your second and third toes? And instead of leaning forward over the left leg, reach back through your right fingertips. Let your right leg get heavier, and then use that to bend 1 more inch into your front thigh. Now, as the legs stay the same, breathe in, reach your arms to the sky. Bend your left elbow, pat yourself on the back, and let your right fingertips hold on for this variation of Gomukhasana. Elbow high, gently press your head back as you slide the ribs back and breathe. A full breath in. Stay for the exhale, bend into your left thigh as you lift your left elbow 1 more inch to the ceiling. On your inhale, release your arms to a T. Press your right leg straight. And as you exhale for Trikonasana, let your left hand tap your block or the ground on the inside of your left foot. The higher your left hand comes onto a block, the more space you find in the left side waist. So as you unlock both knees, hug your feet towards each other, and now press straight down into your left hand, reach up through the right fingertips, and lean back against yourself as you breathe. A full breath in. And on an exhale, side stretch, sweep your right arm overhead towards the front of the room, as if someone's tugging your right fingertips forward, but you're resisting with your right foot. Press the right foot into the earth. Reach out through the right hip, the shoulder, the crown of your head as you lean back against yourself. On your next inhale, beautiful, unwind, lower your hands, bend your left knee and all the way back to downward facing dog. From your down dog, do let your hands come as wide as your mat and inhale to lift the left leg up and back, a breath. As you exhale, carve your left knee to your nose and pause. Lift your right thigh higher, lift your butt higher, and into that, can you carve your left knee towards your heart? As you breathe in, lift the left leg up and back, 3-legged dog. And last one, left knee to left upper armpit. Lift your right thigh, your butt, your chest, look forward, and maybe scoop the left thigh 1 centimeter forward. Big inhale to lift the left leg up and back. And as you lower the left foot to the ground, wait for the inhale, come forward to plank pose. Wait for the exhale to lower all the way down to your belly. Once you're on your belly, reach your arms alongside of you, turn your palms down to face the floor. And as you rest on your chin or on your forehead for a moment, feel your legs back in space. Press your feet down into the floor Hug an imaginary block in between your thighs. Now press your palms down into the ground. Hug the shoulder blades together. As you inhale, begin to lift your head, your heart, float your palms up off of the floor, and exhale to lift your legs up and away from the ground for Shalabhasana, locust pose. Try to soften or even close your eyes to listen for the sound of your breath. With each inhale, hug that imaginary block between your thighs and think inner thighs to the sky. Now hug the shoulder blades towards each other. Lift your palms 1 more inch, a big breath in as you take flight. And on your exhale, release, lower to the earth. Make a pillow with your hands. You might rest on one of your palms or on a cheek or on your forehead. And feel for and remember your own breath. In this lineage of yoga, you're thought to have so many versions and sides of you. And here, the front body, the part of you that's touching the floor, is thought to be that individual body, the one that you see in the mirror every day, that others see, that you're more accustomed with. But you also have the back of your body, the part of you that's touching the air above you, your universal body, the one that connects you to something so much greater than just yourself. And one cannot exist without the other. So as you breathe into the front body, can you feel the back of your body expand, the low, the mid, and the upper back? And as you exhale, you soften back into yourself to feel your own 3-dimensional nature. Now, after a few breaths, bring your hands to either side of your chest, press up through to tabletop. You might sit back onto your heels, shake some water, sip some water, shake it out, take a breath, and let's spend a few moments on the knees. Are we getting warmer? Okay. It's getting warmer outside too. Soon it will be July, and I will be in shorts. Okay, let's spend a few moments on the knees. So if you'd like a blanket for some extra padding, please feel free to find one. You might also have blocks underneath your hands as you make your way to all fours into your tabletop position. But from your table, whether your hands are on the ground or on blocks, bring your right foot to the outside of your right hand for this lizard lunge variation. Now begin to walk your left knee back so it's behind your left hip. And as you walk your hands 1 block or 1 hand at a time over to the left corner of your mat, look over your left shoulder at your left heel, and now bend your left knee to draw your left heel towards your own butt cheek. Keep your right hand connected as your left hand reaches around for the top of your left foot, or you might lasso a strap or grab onto the leg of your pants. But for this version of the thigh stretch, back your booty up towards the heel. They do not have to touch, but think hips back. Now press into the earth to lift your chest away from the ground. Stay here breathing. Some variations, or you might walk your right hand back to the inside of your right foot. You might climb your right palm up onto your right thigh and play with some balance. You might also reach your right hand out and around to hug onto the left foot. But remember your breath. Take a full breath in and down. Stay for the exhale. Lift your heart. Lift your gaze. And bend 1 more inch into that front thigh. Let it get heavier to the earth. Good. Slowly let your right hand come down first. Then let go of your back foot. Step it back to tabletop. Come onto all fours. And a breath or two here to notice any difference from side to side. And now for the second round, from table, bring your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Walk your right knee back so that your right thigh is more diagonal to the floor. And as your hands start to walk over to the right corner and right side of your mat, take a peek over your right shoulder, bend your right knee, and bring your right heel towards your own butt cheek. Now with that left hand connected, let your right hand reach around for the top of the foot. Here, the hips might sway towards the earth, but think booty back towards the heel. And as you press into the floor, lift your chest, stay and breathe. Again, all of the variations we did on side one apply. Maybe your left hand comes to the inside of the left leg. Maybe it climbs up onto the left thigh or wraps around to hug onto the right foot itself. But a full breath in and down. Stay for your exhale, lift your heart, lift your gaze, and maybe you bend 1 more inch into that front leg. Now let your left hand release first, then let go of the right foot. Plant your palms and take it back to tabletop. A breath on all fours, and we'll meet in downward facing dog as you walk your knees back, lift your hips up, and take a breath as you arrive. Now in your down dog, lift your heels, soften your knees, peek forward, and come forward, feet to your hands into your standing forward fold. Inhale brings you halfway up to lengthen, grow long through the spine, Ardha Uttanasana, and exhale to fold, Uttanasana, bowing in. Take a breath to rise, stand through your legs, reach your arms forward and up to the sky. And on your exhale, let your hands come down by your sides. Nice, have your strap close by. You may or may not use it in this next pose we're moving towards. But as you set your strap off to the right side of your mat, take a big breath in to reach your arms forward and up. And on your exhale, soften your knees to fold and bow in. Keep your left foot forward. Step your right foot all the way back to lunge. This time, pivot your right heel to the floor like warrior two. And begin to walk your hands to the right corner of your mat like we did in that first lunge. That's it. Now find your strap. And as you unravel it from its rubber band, begin to hold the strap between your hands at the lowest part of your back. I like to start with my hands wider than hip distance. You might be wider or closer, but as your hands come to your low back, bend your elbows quite a bit, hug your shoulder blades together, and for humble warrior, begin to reach your arms off of your butt as you bow in towards the earth. Good. Keep a tiny bend in your elbows. They love to lock when they go overhead. And as you gently tug your strap apart, hug the shoulder blades together, and think bottom of your heart towards the left toes, breathing. Nice, y'all. Slowly release your hands to your butt. Ditch your strap to the side. Lift your back heel. And as you take all the hops you need, step your right foot forward to meet your left, back into that forward fold. Second side, right foot forward. Step your left foot back through to lunge. Take your time, pivot your back heel all the way to the ground like warrior two. And as you walk your hands to the left corner of your mat, let your body come to the inside of your right leg. Now hold on to that strap one more time between your hands at the lowest part of your back. Try to hug the shoulder blades together. Keep the elbows bent. And as you breathe in, reach your arms off of your butt towards the sky, bowing in. At the last second, the elbows want to lock. So maybe you find a bend that you don't see, but you can feel. And as the strap tugs apart, the shoulder blades kiss one another on your upper back. Take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale, bend into your right thigh, and maybe your arms go overhead towards the left corner of your mat. Ooh. Good. Inhale to release your hands to your butt. Ditch your strap. Plant your palms and take it back this time to downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Pedal your heels one at a time. Notice the difference that you feel and see. And your choice, you can stay right here in your down dog. You might lower your knees to the ground and take a few breaths in puppy or child's pose, or your breath might take you through one of those linking vinyasas we have done together before. But anywhere you so choose, can you offer it to the fullness of your own breath in through your nose and lengthen the entirety of your exhales out. Nice. After a few breaths, let's all come to meet in tabletop. Sit back onto your heels, shake it out, and sip some water. Okay, all of that to get to where we're going, which is round one of the arm balances. So for today, I'm going to offer 2 rounds. The first variation is with the bolster. If you don't have a bolster, you can also use your 2 blocks and a blanket. But the aim of the game for this one is to not lift anything up off of the bolster, just to start to see what direction you're moving towards. So in a second, this is what it's going to look like. You'll bring 1 block or 2 to its lowest height in the middle of your mat. And then the bolster will drape over the block to create a little shelf. Now, just technically, the squishy bolsters, some of you have the very fluffy, squishy ones. You might need 1 block. The like flatter, heavier ones, you might need 2 blocks. So you kind of have to figure out your own Goldilocks moment for a second. But this is what it looks like. So in a second, you'll come to downward facing dog. And like we've done so many times already, you'll bring 1 foot to the outside of your hand for that lizard lunge. And now you lower until your pelvis lands onto the bolster and block. Yeah, you might come higher up on the block or lower down as needed. But the aim of the game, you're not trying to bring the knee onto the block, nor are you trying to bring your chest onto the block. It's the very top pelvis where the thigh and legs start to meet. And now as you walk your hands forward and lift your chest, this is going to be a big old hip opener. You can stay here the entire time. Or another variation is you bring your arm and your leg to touch, and the more you reach your chest forward and bend your elbows, that back foot might get lighter. Maybe the front foot lifts up off of the ground. Maybe this leg straightens off to the side. But you see how this to this is this to this? Yeah? Triangle, warrior 2, just very different when your hands are on the ground. But the idea, what I want you to think about is not lowering to the floor, but reaching your heart forward and then letting the elbows bend. The further forward your chest goes, the more space you'll have to lift the leg up off the floor. Yeah? Let's try it. If any questions come up, let me know and we'll see if we can work through them together. So you get to decide either 2 blocks stacked with the bolster over. Let's try it that way first and see what happens. So 2 blocks or 1 and the bolster over. Now come into your downward facing dog with your hands in front of the blocks and your chest kind of hovers over the block and bolster in your down dog itself. Now inhale to lift your right leg up and back. Bring your right foot to the outside of your right hand and lower as much as you need until your pelvis lands on the block and bolster. You might come higher up onto a block as needed. Breathe here. Press into your palms, lift your chest. Notice what you feel in that outer right hip. Breathing. Now, only if you so desire, heel toe your right leg to kiss your right arm. Let the leg and arm touch. And now look forward. Reach your heart so far forward that when you bend your elbows back, maybe you come onto your left big toe, maybe no toes. Maybe the right thigh rests on your right arm and you float your right foot up off the ground. You might look to the right foot. You might straighten your right knee and foot high five your friend to the right, but breathe. Reach your chest forward. And then to come out like a seesaw, you press your palms down, tip your left foot back, and take it back to tabletop. That looked good. Good. Melanie's been coming for, some of you have been coming for all 3 of the arm balances, and there's some that you're like, I hate this. Why am I here? And there's others where it's not a like, yes, I love this. It's like, oh, okay, I accept. But we'll take the whole range. Any questions about it? Make sense? Kind of further forward your chest goes. If the back foot doesn't lift, it's no problem. But I really want you to think about heart forward to give that back leg a little space.
Are your arms pretty far apart?
I like to bring them pretty far apart and then eventually bring them closer, but I like to start wide because it gives my chest a little more room. But yes. How far back are the hands? Yes, great question. So here, I don't know how well you can see it, but you come into your lizard lunge and the arms are more or less vertical. And then Check out the space from my elbow to the forearm. So I'm not trying to bend the elbows back or to the sides. As I reach the chest forward, see how the forearms stay vertical? Like elbows are over the wrists, and then the chest reaches forward. That's what's giving me the steadiness to hold myself up. Does that answer the question? Okay. This one. Yes. Yes. Because if I was here, you can definitely do this. It's just way more core work than I ever wanted to do. So, is this the leg you mean? Yeah. Beep. Mm-hmm. Other guys. This can also be the pose if you'd like to do this one. Downward facing dog, please. Let your hands maybe start as wide as your mat. Take a breath. And now last one, lift your left leg up and back. Bring your left foot to the outside of your left hand and pause as you slowly lower your hips and that right thigh onto the block and bolster. Now keep your arms straight for a breath. Press through your palms, lift your heart, and notice that opening in the hips. And now if you'd like, you let your left arm and your left leg touch. Now look forward. Reach your heart so far forward that when you bend your elbows back, think heart forward, look forward, look forward, look forward. Maybe the back leg gets lighter. Flex the back foot, try to straighten your back knee. You might look to your left leg, say hi to your toes. Maybe the left leg stays bent, or you straighten your left leg to the left like Trikonasana, breathing. On an inhale, tip your palms back up. Tip your hands to bring your feet back to the floor and step it back to table, child's pose, or a breath where you can feel both feet on the ground. Nice. It's always the first side you do something, I as teacher hear this, and then the second side there was a like an ocean-like breath. So I can see some things are sticking. One side always feels very different. Okay, because we are in the month of the arm balances, there's another choice, another option to present to you. Again, if you see what I'm about to offer next and you say, Anisha, I have no interest whatsoever in doing this. No obligation whatsoever. You can always do this again because you'll see the second time you do something, you find a little bit more space and breath. Or for the next variation, you might not have any of your props. And for this one, similar but very different, you lift a leg, and you remember we did those core planks? You bring a knee to the armpit, and you lower this foot to the floor. Now, as you reach your chest forward, for this one, your arm and leg will have to touch. I'm thinking chest so far forward, I'm on the tippiest of those tippy toes, that when I bend the elbows, maybe the back leg lifts up off the ground. Maybe this leg straightens. Maybe I turn my gaze over to the side. And then to come out, back to table or downward facing dog. It's similar yet incredibly different because you don't have the blocks, but it's similar because I want you to think, if I can mime it, maybe it'll make a difference. Forward with the chest, not down. Yeah? This might be what it looks like for a while. This way. This might also be what it looks like for a while, which is what I was for a minute. But the idea is, is not trying to muscle your way up through it, meaning here. Think heart forward, and the back leg might feel a drop lighter. Okay? You don't have to do that one. You can do the block. If you want to do that one, I'll talk you through it. But either way, come into downward facing dog with or without the bolsters or blocks. Take a breath here. Let yourself arrive. And now everyone lift your right leg up and back. If you have the bolster, you come the same way you came in. If you don't have the bolster, look forward and step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Now let your right arm and leg touch each other. Look forward, bend your elbows back, and come onto the tippiest of tippy toes of the left foot. Lift your left thigh high, bend your elbows, bend them back, 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 back. And then maybe the further forward your heart goes. Yes, of course. The back foot might hop, hop, hippity, hop, 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 hop off the ground. Woo! Nice, Chrissy. See if you can bend your elbows. You see how they're straight? Yeah, bend them back. And if you want, you can bring your hands a little closer together too. Further forward and bend those elbows. Bend them. Heart forward. That's it. Wahoo! Yeah. That's the direction. I know it feels like, where am I going? But that's the direction. You can inch it to the side. Yeah? And to give it a little room. How'd that go? Not bad. In Sanskrit, it's called Ekapada Kundanyasana 2. In English, it's called an arm balance. But it's a one-footed, almost triangle pose, or extended side angle pose. Should we try the other side? There's always one side that feels bionically different than the other, because our hips and sides are different. So let's do the last round, and then we'll never think about this again.
Do you have a tip or a cue for, like, I can do it if I'm balanced with my left hand is balancing on,
The hip.
yeah. Do you have a tip for, is it just that I'm scared and you gotta go for it without the, this feels like a security blanket.
Totally.
Do you have a tip for, like, stabilizing without the elbow?
It's over time, like energetically trying to pull your hands together without letting the elbows come in. So it's this action of, like, in plank pose, and you squeeze the hands together this way. It's that same variation. I'm hugging, 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 hugging to maybe not let the elbow rest onto the hip. And it doesn't happen, it's not like the first hug you do it, the elbow will be free, but it activates the bicep and the shoulder blades to help give this elbow a little bit more room. But I think starting with your elbow on the hip already creates, you're like, okay, I can go there. So you have the stability, and now it's just a, like a chicken wing come off and then chicken wing come back on. Last side. Last side, last side, last side. Downward facing dog, please. With or without your block or bolster. With the hands as wide as your mat, take a breath. First to the breath we go. And now lift your left leg up and back. Bring your left foot to the outside of your left hand. And pause as you lift your heart. The head wants to drop, lift your heart. Now think chest, kiss your left arm and leg together. Think chest so far forward that when you bend the elbows, hug the palms together. That's it, I know. Hug the palms together. Come onto your right tippiest of tippy toes. Yes! And maybe that back foot hop, 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 hippity hops up off the floor. When you do not want to do this anymore, you come back to tabletop. Nice. That side looked different. It's better for me too. Bodies. Okay, nice, y'all. Never again. Can we come to one last downward facing dog, please? Get some counter poses in, and then we'll come to lay down. So once you come to one final down dog, take a breath. Inhale to come through to plank so that you can lower down onto your belly. Let your hands come as wide as your mat. Take a few extra breaths in cobra. Drink it in. Press your feet down. Hug the imaginary block. Slide the ribs back. Hug the shoulder blades together and the ears back so your head sits on your heart. A big breath in. And on your exhale, lower all the way back to your belly. Press up through to tabletop. And in a moment, you'll come to lie onto your back with your head to the front of the room, feet to the back of the room. Have a couple things close. So have your therapy balls within a reachable distance and have your block somewhere close so you can find it without having to get up or down. Does anyone need therapy balls? I can definitely bring some over to you. Set all of your things off to the side, and as you bend your knees, bring both feet onto the floor. Let your arms come down alongside of you and press your palms down into the floor. Wiggle the shoulder blades towards one another. And as you press through your feet, lift your hips and slide a block to its lowest or second lowest height underneath your pelvis for supported bridge. Once you find the block underneath your butt, your pelvis, let your hips get heavy. Wiggle the shoulder blades towards one another on your upper back. And now gently press your head down into the earth to lift your chin away from your chest. Your hands might stay long on either side of you. You might rest them on your hips or on your belly. But take 5 deep breaths here at your pace. The breath that moves first in the direction of your heart. The heart that then awakens and illuminates your mind. And your mind that inspires the full brilliance of your body. Arm balances have a tendency to not only spark curiosity, but also warm us up to increase the rate of your own heart. So in this practice of calling you back to yourself, can you take a big breath in and down? And as you exhale, even open your mouth to offer that breath out. When you find your next round of breath, press through your feet to lift your hips up and slide that block out from underneath your hips as you land your butt back to the floor. With your feet as wide as your mat, with your knees bent, drop both of your knees over to the right-hand side like windshield wipers on that car. Inhale to bring your knees back up through center. And a big exhale to drop your knees over to the left. Inhale to bring your knees back up through center. And as you hug your knees in towards your chest, give them an embrace. You might make some small circles in one or the other direction. Perhaps you lean slowly from one side to the other, but a bigger breath in. And on your exhalation, release the hold of your legs down to the earth. This afternoon, I'll talk you through a few moments of therapy balls in the upper back. But if you'd prefer, you're more than welcome to set up early for rest. We'll meet you there right around the corner. But for those interested in the therapy balls, you are more than welcome to keep them in their tote or take them out. But as you hold the therapy balls in your hands, begin to lift your head, neck, and shoulders up. And from your upper back, pop the therapy balls in between your shoulder blades to either side of your spine. Once you find a place you can breathe in and be curious about, your head might come down onto the floor, or you might alleviate some pressure and bring your head up onto a block at its lowest height. But as your arms fall down by your sides, take a full breath in through the nose. And even open your mouth to let that breath out, to soften in towards the earth. Let your breath become more full, deeper, and expansive. And as we find 2 more spaces here in the upper back, you can bend both knees, feel your feet on the earth. Press through your feet to lift your hips an inch and roll your body to the front of the room until the therapy balls come down your back, just to the middle of the shoulder blades, so slightly lower than where they just were. Once you find this new place, as your hips land and your arms get heavy on either side of you, a full breath in through the nose, and open your mouth to let that breath out. There's a whole universe to visit in stillness. So perhaps you stay right as you are, or you might reach your arms up towards the ceiling with your palms and fingers soft. Being mindful of any neighbors or props, perhaps you reach just your right arm overhead to the front of the room. And then as you draw your right arm back up to the ceiling, your left arm might reach overhead. Continue at your pace if the arms are moving, but let your breath become longer and steadier. And perhaps you move even 1% slower than you are already as you breathe. If your arms are lifted after going back and forth evenly, you can lower your arms down by your sides. And now one last place as you press through your legs, roll your body another few inches north until those therapy balls come to the bottom tips of your shoulder blades. So still somewhere in the upper back, just slightly lower than where you've been. A deep breath in through the nose. And as you open your mouth to let that breath out, let your butt and your head and your arms get heavy to the earth. You might stay here, or one final variation as your arms reach up to the ceiling. Perhaps you give yourself a hug as if your hands could reach for your therapy balls behind your back. Try to unclench your fingers and your palms. If you're giving yourself a hug, you might switch which elbow is on top to notice any difference. Even gently lean from side to side, but a bigger breath in and a deeper breath out. Now unwrap your arms if they're wrapped around you. Clear any blocks from underneath you if they're there. And to make the exit journey a few ways, you can scooch your hips towards your heels and feel the therapy balls roll up your back. You might also roll over onto one side and push them out of the way as you come back to lay onto the earth. But however they exit, see if they can fully exit for the remainder of your rest. And take your time to set yourself up for Shavasana, a place where the right and the left, the front and the back of your body can soften evenly into the earth. You might let your hair down, you might set your glasses safely off to the side for the time being. And know that at any point you can shift or adjust to become even 1% more comfortable than you are already. But as you listen for the full cadence of your breath, let your breath move from your nose, past your heart, into your belly. And as you exhale through your nose or mouth, let gravity hold and soften you into her embrace. Let each round of your breath, let your physical body get heavier against the earth. And it's here, the heavier your body becomes, the more expansive and the more spacious you may just start to feel. Begin to deepen your breath. Take a longer breath in and a sweeter breath out. Take another breath in and down. Let it fill you up completely. And exhale to offer all of that breath out. Let your breath begin to awaken the body that you're in with any gentle movement that feels supportive to you. You You might roll your wrists or your ankles in one or the other direction. Perhaps you tip your head from one side to the other, heavy against its support. Or being mindful of any neighbors or props, perhaps you reach your arms away from your legs or draw your knees in towards your chest. But when the time comes, you can bend both knees, feel your feet heavy on the earth as you reach one or both of your arms overhead and begin to roll to any side of your choice, to curl into yourself. With the least amount of effort needed, press down into the floor and come up to rise to a tall seat facing the front of the room. With your eyes softly opened or closed, can you listen for your breath as you take a deep breath in and down, and exhale to offer the breath up and out in every direction? Our time together will finish with one more of those breaths. You can place your hands to center where that feels for you as you take a deep breath in to offer all of it out. You might bow your head to your heart or lift your hands towards your head in such a simple but profound gesture of self-reverence, bowing to your heart and the hearts of each other who practiced right alongside next to you. And I bow to each and every one of you all. Thank you for choosing to be here. Thank you. Drink water, enjoy what feels like summer weather, take care of yourselves. And I'll see you soon. The studio announcements that I have are, there's a lot of breath work and restorative yoga workshops that are coming up. And what's happening? Kai, who just finished teacher training last year, is also trained as a martial artist, I believe, and he did these classes in September, and they were such a success. It's called Rooted and Ready, a self-defense 4-week series. And so he's a yogi, he's a martial artist, he's the sweetest man on earth, and his series is starting March 16th, which feels so far, but I think it's close. It's Monday nights. So if that's of interest, it builds week by week, and it's gonna be very nice. That's all I have. Anyone else have announcements? The flower show coming in a few weeks, but any other things in your lives and worlds that other people might want to know about? No. Well, as always, if there is, feel free to announce, but I'll see you soon. Otherwise, thank you for being here.